Hey, welcome back. Brian Fitzpatrick here. Thanks for joining me for another video. Right now, things are absolutely bananas in the real estate industry. You've got prices at historic highs, while at the same time you've got inventory levels that are at historic lows. You've got lumber prices and material costs through the roof, but you've also got interest rates near or at historic lows as well. So there's a lot of moving pieces. I made a video a couple of weeks ago talking about home prices. Have they peaked? Have they not peaked? I am of the opinion that they have, or we're very close to that peak, and there's certainly more evidence coming out now that suggests that that is certainly the case. But today we're going to talk specifically about the pending foreclosures that are coming once this moratorium, the mortgage forbearance and the eviction moratorium comes to an end at the end of June. I don't believe it's going to be extended. I mean, that remains to be seen, but there will be some extenuating circumstances for some folks, I would imagine. But anyways, let's just jump into the article and we'll talk a little bit more about specifically what banks are doing to address it and how it's going to have an impact on the real estate market. Okay, this is an article from CNBC, and it says some lenders set to resume foreclosures in July. Pandemic-related moratoriums on foreclosures and evictions are set to expire June 30th, and some lenders plan to start resuming foreclosures in July. About 2.1 million homeowners are still in mortgage forbearance, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. As of April, about 1.8 million households who aren't in forbearance were 90 days delinquent on their loan, according to Black Knight data. That's a fairly large number. Not the end-all be-all, but I don't know how accurate it is. I think there's a number of people who may be out of forbearance but still are living in a home that they can't necessarily afford. Bank of America says its suspension of foreclosures will end on bank-owned loans and government-backed loans when the national moratorium ends at the end of June. The good news is the amount of deferrals is way down, and most of the clients have become current. Brian Moynihan, CEO of Bank of America, said at this week's Senate hearing, as reported by CNBC. Irrespective of that deadline passing, we'll continue to work with the few clients we have left to help them. JP Morgan Chase also said during the hearing that about 90% of its customers have exited forbearance programs. Notice the language here. He's talking about 90% have exited. That means there's 10% of folks are still in forbearance. That is a big number. Chase is a huge bank. So having 10% of their mortgages still in forbearance is, again, a very large number. Forbearance and delinquency rates have gradually dropped since the nation started reopening last summer. Nearly 92% of mortgage holders were making loan payments as of April 23rd, the largest share for any month since the onset of the pandemic, Black Knight reports. One of the reasons why people are getting caught up has to do with the stimulus money that's being pumped into the economy right now. So you've got the unemployment benefits, you've got the enhanced benefits, and then you've got the actual stimulus checks, though I would imagine a lot of that money has since been spent. But there is a ton of money being pumped in to the economy through the government, and as these programs start to diminish, you're going to see many more people struggle to make their mortgage payments and their rent. Some lending giants plan to delay taking any action against delinquent homeowners even after federal moratoriums expire. For example, Wells Fargo told lawmakers this week that it plans to extend moratoriums on foreclosures and evictions for loans that they own until the end of the year. Wells Fargo also said it supports the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's proposed rule that would prevent lenders from initiating foreclosures proceedings until 2022. The housing industry is anticipating more inventory in the coming months, Lawrence Yun, chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, said after last week's existing home sales report. We'll see more inventory come on the market later this year as further COVID-19 vaccinations are administered and potential home sellers become more comfortable listing and showing their homes. The falling number of homeowners in mortgage forbearance will also bring about more inventory. It absolutely will bring about more inventory. So this is really a recipe for home prices to start falling again and getting back to some sense of normalcy. Unfortunately, it comes at the expense of the people who are in these really tough financial situations through no fault of their own. I mean, the vast majority of these folks were let go by companies, and the companies either went out of business or they just didn't come back, or they didn't hire back even if they are back. So it's really a challenging situation for a lot of folks to be in. The long and short of it is that there is going to be quite a bit more inventory coming onto the market over the next 6 to 12 months. What I find most interesting about this particular article is it talks about banks preparing for foreclosures. Foreclosures is really the last stop in terms of recourse that home buyers have. So there's a short sale that could happen, and more oftentimes than not, if the market is so hot and there's so many buyers out there in the marketplace, then banks wouldn't need to foreclose on these properties because the people who are living in them could simply sell them. But the fact that they are ramping up specifically for foreclosures tells me that they know that there's a limited number of buyers out there. There's not necessarily a flood of properties, but there's a significant number of properties that are going to be coming on the market, and they suspect that some of these homes are not going to get sold. Instead, they're going to get foreclosed on. So stay tuned. This is going to get real interesting. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure that you smash that like button and also hit the subscribe button to be notified of future videos. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.